because anyways, a lot of self effort is required even after this meeting. And please let me know if I'm not audible completely or if my voice is feeble. So I also wanted to know one thing, like most of you are from electronics background or from which background in a sense? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Electrical. Thank you. So should we start or should we wait?
We can start.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So we will be mostly talking about UAVs only, not UEM or UAM, we can call it. So unmanned aerial vehicle, and UAM will be a kind of a methodology will come into the future that will be used for the transportation. So we will going to touch on it, but we are not going to talk much about it because probably that will not be so relevant right now for you. Well, let's try to cover it as much as possible today. Yeah, so let's start with my introduction. So, Ashutosh Sharma, my name, and my skills includes control system, requirement design, and I'm the functional architect right now for the flight control systems. Mostly, I worked on large aircrafts such as B787, C919, but I also have experience on working on UAVs that I worked on in Honeywell. So I started with Honeywell in flight control systems. Then I moved to Rolls-Royce. I wanted to get a better perspective in the aerospace field and wanted to work on all the parts of the aircraft. So then the next challenging part was engine control systems. Engine control systems, I have worked on many of the small functionalities. Like to make it pretty simple is the thrust functionality in a sense means how we can generate the thrust. So that one of the subsystems I worked on. Then I moved to flight control systems in Boeing. Right now I am working on 777 programs. 777 is again a big aircraft, and I'm the functional architect. In a sense, my responsibility is to write the requirement, identify the issues, try to solve them, come up with a solution. Actually, I'm a system engineer. So system engineering is equivalent to a product manager in aerospace. And this is my LinkedIn profile. I'm going to share the slides with all of you. So if you have any doubt, you can contact me anytime. Yeah. So please ask me any question if you have any time. Means you can put it in the chat as well. Okay. Thank you. As well, or you can ask directly. So today we are going to cover 5 major topics. First is introduction to UAV. Most of you would already be aware about what are UAVs and what are their uses. So we'll not spend much time on that. But if you have some question, we can surely go through that. Again, UAV dynamics, UAV system means what kind of systems are there in the UAVs. So here our focus will be quadcopters, but ultimately we are going to talk about all the different kind of UAVs which are present in the market. Actually, with time and with more analysis, you will realize that quadcopter is not so important UAVs in terms of the entire UAV world. because you have many different kinds of UAVs which are operating at different levels. So we are going to see some interesting UAVs as well in this in this slides. Then fourth, how to start building your drones. So ultimately, I try to put every steps that required to build a drone, but I don't think time will be enough to do that. But you can refer this slides later, and you can start doing it, and you can ask me question in the future as well. What are the future prospects? In a sense, we can talk about the career you can make in UAVs. Plus, we can also talk the future technologies are in pipeline in this market. Also, we will see the different kind of companies who are working in this area as well. Okay, let's start with the introduction. Am I going too fast? Please let me know. Or slow I am going, that also let me know. I can go fast also.
The speed is fine, sir.
Okay. So if you are not able to understand anything, please ask actually. Okay. So I think my screen was stuck. Okay, so just a second. Today I'm facing for the first time this many problems. Actually, I gave presentations at other places as well in my company, but I have not faced these problems. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah, so okay, probably Zoom is taking a lot of. Okay, so now are you able to see the screen or it is black?
Black, sir. Yes, sir. Now it loads. Sir.
Hello. Okay. Okay. So let's start with the history of drones actually. So the name drone came from a honeybee drones. So which go about their task mindlessly as they are controlled by a fairway queen. Means there's an interesting book on the honeybee drones as well, with the structure of the bees. It's one of the interesting books you should read while you're in college because it will open a different perspective. So similarly, a robotic plane with a microcontroller programmed to work as an autopilot is work in the same way and in the same technology. So ultimately, drone name came from the honeybee drone, from the nature itself, as most of the invention came. So it started in 1800 itself. I mean, the first account of drone was Australian using balloons to attack the Venice. There's the first account. In 1900s, then obviously US made a lot of stride in this area. So some of later they used drones for a target practice for their troops in 1900s. In 1940s, first radio transmitted drone came into effect. Actually, the World War II was one of the most significant factors in developing this field. If there was no World War II, then probably aerospace would not be as developed as it is today. So a lot of development happened in that area in that time. Then the revolution came in 1990s, where first General Atomic Predator. So it's one of the most famous and the most influential drone present right now. Means you would have heard a lot about Predator in recent time, the attacks in Pakistan and Afghanistan they are doing with the help of this drone. So and now currently, if you see, means it went into a lot another level actually. So we'll see about those drones as well later in this slide. So any doubt you have, just please ask me. So still screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please give feedback also, because it's very difficult for me to get. I feel sometimes my laptop is not working today, so can be confusing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, again it got stuck. Yeah, so now we will see the different types of drone. We will try to brush through these slides, because anyway you can these very easy slides. If you can, most of the things are available. Okay, so okay, I will try to present this ad. It is, I will not go full screen because it is giving some error. We'll go to full screen on some slides, because those slides are pretty important and it will help if you go on full screens. Okay, so there are different types of drones. So drones are categorized into three types of drones: fixed wing drones, single rotor drones, and multicopters. Multicopters are the most known to the students and the enthusiasts. So now let's talk about fixed wing. Actually, if you ask me, fixed wings are the most advanced drones which are present right now as compared to any other type of drone. So you can see the first image here. So it is an Indian made drone. It's called Rustam. So it's a medium altitude, long endurance unmanned air vehicle. It is developed by DRDO for three services, means all three services: Indian Navy, Army, and Air Force. So it is a derivative of a earlier program called Light Craft Research Aircraft under NAL. NAL is one of the research bodies in India, and this is the most advanced drone we have in India, made by India actually. Now Reaper, we already know about these two drones. In a sense, you would have heard. So it has a capacity to fly for 42 hours without a munition payload, and 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours with the full payload. Actually, means with all the missiles and everything, it can fly for 12 hours. And it is capable of doing many things, such as laser guided bombs, air to surface missiles, and obviously carrying guns and other things. The important part is that they can fly for 12 hours with all the facilities. Now the most interesting drone, it is from Boeing only. So it is called X-37B. So you would have not heard much about this drone because its operations are secretive. I'm also not aware, as I'm working Boeing right now, because no one is aware about it. So what it does, it continuously flies for more than 600 days in the atmosphere. And we don't know what this drone is doing in the air right now, but probably it is collecting some kind of data, or probably they are trying to build a base in the air. We are not sure. Again, this is all are speculations. So it has a capacity to fly for, say, like 600 days continuously. It just landed like 2-3 months back, and it started again flying for further research. So these are fixed wing. Next is okay. Next a single rotor. Just a second. Okay, well, sorry for this. I will just load it again. So should not be a problem. So actually, it's one of the laptops are from company, so I can't open the local office. So it is instructed to give this kind of sessions through this laptop. So that is one of the problem. Okay, any question till now? Means if any thoughts or question?
So how is this fixed wing drone different from planes?
Yeah, so
Airplanes?
nice question actually. Yeah, so I just got one question, so I will answer that first. It's the name of the plane which flies for 600 days is X-37B. Just search about it, okay? You will get a lot of information. Probably you will not exactly get what it is doing because we also don't know. But if you find, please let me know also. Yeah. So what is the difference between the fixed wing drones and the actual aircraft is that you can't control actual aircraft from ground, but you can control and do many things. All the things which you can do by the actual plane through ground. That's the difference. That's the only difference. Right now also we don't have enough capability available to fly our normal aircraft through autopilot. Means autopilot is pretty advanced, and there are many factors which comes into play whenever in a sense whenever we go for the autopilot actually. So there are certification agencies called FAA. In India there's a DGCA. So there are many things a fixed wing passenger plane need to comply as compared to a drone. Means nowadays there are a lot of regulations regarding drones also. Just a week back they have introduced a new drone policy as well to encourage the development in the drones. Does this answer your question, or I can elaborate more
Yes, sir.
if you want?
Sir, actually, what kind of sensors are used in the drones to make that autonomous? While coming to autonomous cars or other ground vehicles, mostly they use fixed cameras and lidar. But coming
Yes.
to drone, what kind of sensors they are using, and what are the operating systems they are using for it? Like we mostly using like open source operating system like
Yes.
Linux or any other robotic based operating system like ROS something, or we will be using some in Robot Boss also they are using RTOS. Like is there anything specific regarding about coming to UAV?
Yeah, nice question actually. So I will start with the last question. What kind of softwares we are using? Actually, you can use any kind of software. Actually, these drones are ultimately a microcontrollers based systems. Okay, so just in the same way you develop a microcontroller based system, you can also program a drone, any drone. But there are certain factors that comes into picture which restricts us in a sense, which need a more advanced platforms, such as you said RTOS, means real-time operating systems, and that can be specific from company to company. So there are many open source software which are already available. Like if you go in Pixoc, you can use Eclipse IDE and code it in any way, because ultimately you can compile it and it will be a binary code. So there are no hard and fast rule, but based on your application, you need to choose it. Like most, such as you can see examples that people have used just Arduino boards to create a drone, a simple drone operation quadcopters they have used. Now, coming to the sensors, what kind of sensors they use? So they use means many different kind of sensors such as accelerometer, gyroscope. We'll come to that also in the later slide. If more advanced drones use equivalent, I can't say equivalent, but they almost use most of the sensors which are used in actual aircraft, like the pressure sensors, pressure detection, temperature detections, uh, and many. Means I can think many actually right now, but and different part of the aircraft they can use. So mainly to make it autonomous, ultimately what we required is gyroscope and accelerometer, because it should know about its own position. Other things we are use to make drones autonomous are the communication system which we set up from the ground to the air. So that is the most important to make it autonomous. it makes it easy also to make it autonomous as compared to the normal aircraft. Is obviously passengers are not there, and you can hit and trial, and means that we can talk later, means how you design a controller for a drone. Does this answer your question? I got one more message. Okay, thank you. So now we start learning about the concept more deeper actually from this slide. So there are 4 forces on any aircraft. This is common across fixed wing and single rotor or multi-rotor, whatever you can say. So there are 4 forces: the thrust, drag, weight, and lift. Now you can, I don't think I need to tell much about this, but obviously if you have force greater in the upper direction, it will go up, and to lift it in a sense to make it go into the air, then you should have a lift force more as compared to your weight force. In the same way, your thrust should be more as compared to your drag if you want to move forward. Okay, I have one question for you all. Actually, you can either answer by unmuting yourself, or you can give in the chat. Why do you think we have this rotor at the end of this air in the airplane? Actually, we have a fan at the top. Fan is a very lame word to use, but let's say you have a fan at the tail. Tail fan is also there in the aeroplane. Why do you think it is there? Okay, great. I don't think I need to tell more. So yeah, so obviously it's to mitigate the torque, because it is the rotation motor of the upper blade will provide a torque force, and this small blade counters it and balances it. I think all people gave the right answers. Obviously they are, yes, nice. It will start spinning violently. Yes, nice. So ultimately there are many designs of this a helicopter. This is the standard one. There we have one rotor at the tail, but there are many designs in which you have a counter rotor at the top itself. So means you can check those designs. It's pretty cool if you want to see it. Okay. So now the next one is multicopters. So there are varieties of combinations in that. So they are not quadcopters, they are hexacopters. I mean, you can name it actually. So I worked on one of the applications where we needed to design a quadcopter which can carry a certain amount of weight. So in that case, we have done the calculation and we come up with that 8 rotors will be enough to carry that kind of weight. But though at that time the regulation was such that I need to take permission to fly it. That was a different time. Actually, that's 2 years back. But now I think in the closed area you can easily experiment with it. So means the configuration for your multicopters will be based on the application you are executing. Suppose you want to carry a more load, then obviously you need more power. Also, the different types of rotors will vary the weight as well as the size of your multicopter. In a sense, it's all based on application. Suppose you want to shoot a wedding, obviously you don't need a big copter in that. You can go with a smaller quadcopter as well, but those are the minimal applications we do with multicopters. To, in a sense, to give more context to multicopters, nowadays they are used everywhere. The small copters for surveillance in airports, they are using to protect the leaders. Actually, the prime minister is going somewhere, so there is always our drones which are roaming around him in his peripheral to counter any drone attacks from other area. So one of the important areas where people are working right now is how to counter this drone attacks. Okay, so there is a good chance that you will get patent, or you will get a lot of exposure to a bigger audience, or to the lot of people if you come up with a solution for this, effective solution for countering the drone attacks, because that's the future, right? Means everyone is saying that drones are the future. So how you're going to save yourself from those drone? Privacy is one of the concern using drones. So think in these lines as well. Yeah. So now the next slide is motions. Okay, so there are three kinds of motions if you see. And why have I taken this picture? Because ultimately all these things came from C only. So there is a roll motion. It means if you move in this fashion, that will be the roll motion. If you move up and down, it will be the pitch motion. Roll motion, you can see this motion as well. Yaw will be this motion. Means we will see in more detail in terms of quadcopters or in terms of rotor in the next slide. We just see this slide, like see it for like 5-10 seconds to absorb it, because a lot of problems will get solved if we are aware about this concept. Okay, why are signal jammers or missile not effective for anti-drones? Okay, so the point is signal jammers will come into effect if someone is controlling from the ground. Then the signal jammer will work. Suppose if you have programmed your quadcopter in such a way that no one is controlling it, and you know, okay, go to a 100-meter distance and blast it there and drop a bomb, then a signal jammer will not be effective. Okay, missiles again, the people nowadays, not in some areas, people are using very small drones to attack. So it is difficult to detect them itself. But there are some technology which are already there in place, which are not disclosed obviously for obvious reasons, that can detect certain types of drones, but not all the types of drones. But nice questions actually, Ayush. Can see it's pretty nice questions. Ask more questions if you have. If I will try to give answers. If I don't know, then I will come back with the answers later. I can mail you if I don't know. That's not an issue. So next slide is, but think about this area, okay, because how to counter the drones in the future, that will be one field. So this is pretty important slide. I will go to the slideshow. Okay, so one or two slides, means I have put some gifts in this slide, so it will help us to understand. Oh, you can tell me also if I'm going too basic as well, that is also fine, but I thought that it will be good if we what about powerful lasers to emit drones? That is good way of thinking, but what about detecting it first? We need to detect it first, right? Abhijit, yes. So detection is the crucial part. Means eliminating, you can eliminate in any way. You can throw a stone also. Yeah, OpenCV you can use. Image processing, I think you are talking about. Certain people are using it, but how effective it is, that still is in question. Also, your response systems should be that quick to detect it. I will give you one more interesting example. Okay, see, there are anti-missile systems, right? There are many anti-missile systems across the world, but are they effective? That is the question. Means the people, countries claim it, they are pretty nice and they are effective, but if you see, most of the anti-missile systems are not so accurate. But anyway, the countries need to claim it works, otherwise it will be a threat to the national security as well. Yeah, sure. Means deep learning is there, yes. Means in that field only probably answers lies. So you all need to search more. Means try to detect it first. Then elimination is always easy. Means there are 100 ways of do that. But detection is the problem. What about ground doors? Okay, we will see those as well. Okay, so there's one picture came before that was Mars rover. So that was a ground drone. And okay, which kind of ground drones you are talking about? Are you talking about the Mars rover kind of ground drones, or the small drones? In a sense, some of the companies came up with the drones which looks exactly like the birds. This is the real technology I'm talking about. Okay, means there come some companies are working on that and they're successful. So those kind of, yes, no, ground doors used in military, yes. Okay, so the Samuel has asked this question, ground doors used in military. So there are different types of drones that are used in military. Understand drones in a way that they are automated system which runs by itself. Okay, so that you can call it as a drone. So there are tanks actually which are already developed, which can go into the enemy territory and you can control it remotely. So the ground drones are always easy. Okay, I will give you name of one company called Boston Dynamics. Okay, anyway, you people must already be aware about that company. You're in the robotics club. Means that is one of the pioneer companies. See their latest, they have released some of the robotic systems which are pretty scary and like this looks like from the future. Okay, so whatever you can automate and control it remotely, that you can call it as a drone. That can eliminate and detect flying drone. Again, it's all depending on the detection system. So he asked the question, Samuel, that ground drones can use to eliminate and detect flying drones. It will be very difficult because the speed of the drones also matter. Then your system should be capable to detect. Detection is the entire game. So think about it more and see the solution, see the patents. I think you all would be having this IEEE access. Just use that and try to see the patent in the detection. Many companies are working on it. You can also work. But though many companies are working, it doesn't mean that we can't find a solution. Okay, so because most of the innovation came from institutes in India for sure, but not outside. A lot of innovation came from military. Yes, in Israel have anti-drone system. Yes, it does have anti-drone system. But how much effective it is? Obviously, Israeli technology is much more better as compared to anyone right now in terms of drone. I will add more things related to Israel. Actually, Israel is the top technologically advanced country in the drones. Means if you see, there are many companies who are working in this field, and they are recruiting from India as well. So that is one good news. That's one of the future prospect in working in this field. But see Boston Dynamics and see this Israeli company. I will give you the names. See their work. Means you can apply it also in future. Okay, so this is the slide. Ultimately, it now this is pretty slow. That's why you're not able to see the GIFs are moving actually. So here I am trying to depict how how you can hover these drones. And in this slide where I'm trying to show the three motions actually: roll, yaw, and pitch, and see the area where the forces are acting. Okay. I think it's pretty evident from here itself. If you need to roll, then you need speed in these rotors and decrease your speed in this rotor. So the force will be higher in this area and your drone will roll. Now, in the same way, if you see the pitch will be means I hope you get to know what is pitch from the last slide. Pitch is like if you're moving up and down. If your nose is moving up and down, that will be the pitch movement. Okay, so how you can do it? If you have more force at the back from back rotors and the less force from the front rotors, and you can do it either by increasing the speed of the back motors or by decreasing the speed of the front motors. Yaw will be the sideways motion of your nose in a sense. If you are going from west to east, if your nose is going from in that direction, that will be the yaw motion. And that you need to provide force in the opposite rotors, and the difference in the forces will create a yaw motion. Any doubt on this slide? Yeah, here it is more better visible. Hello. Okay, how forces are given for you? Okay, what you need to do is you need to increase the forces in the opposite rotors, like this rotor, this rotor and this rotor. Okay, then the compared to these two rotors, so that will increase a torque in this direction. Means I can increase this image. Okay, so ultimately this green arrow is showing the direction of force. So that's how it is. That's how it does the yaw motion. Again, this is just related to quadcopters. Okay, it means the theory will change if you go in the fixed wing airplane. But I believe that probably you people wanted to learn more about quadcopters. So I brought this diagrams. I can tell you about fixed wings also, means that is also equally interesting. Is this answers your questions, Ayush?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, Amit also said Israel Iron Dome. Yes, this is the famous one actually. But that will be Iron Dome is for, I think, missile system, right? Not for drone system. Yes, I
Yes,
can
sir.
check it. Yeah. Okay. So again, this kind of things are pretty doubtful. Okay, no country will come and tell us that okay, their Iron Dome is not accurate. That will be too much. But this is one of the most difficult problem to solve, is to detect and predict and eliminate a threat. This is one of the most advanced problem that human beings need to solve actually. We can talk about a lot in this area. If you see, there are already systems are in place in different areas of the earth where they are expecting a meteorite strike. So they are planning that if suppose some meteorite or something comes near to the earth, they can destroy it. But again, they can't test it. It is very difficult. Means they can test it on the smaller object, but obviously you can't simulate the real life scenario. Means read about all these things is pretty interesting. Means I think you have a lot of material to discuss. Okay, so the next. So this is the basic autonomy of a drone. Again, this is just quadcopters. Okay, it will vary with the drones, with the different types of drones. But if you're seeing your future perspective, right, means if you're seeing this as your career, then we need to learn a lot about other types of drone as compared to the normal drones, but normal quadcopter drones, but we can start with the quadcopters. So you can see there are different lot of things you all are already aware. Okay, the most important thing is, actually everything is equally important, but the brain of this drone is this flight controllers and the electronic speed controllers. Actually, electronic speed controllers connect with flight control. So you can say electronic ESC is just a subsystem of flight control. Like we discussed previously, that there's a receiver and there's a transmitter. This makes this drone autonomous actually. Obviously, there are different kinds of algorithm which are involved in flight controls, which makes it autonomous. There are many controllers are given in the flight controls. Okay, there are different kind of PID controllers which are involved in creating flight controls. We can talk about them as well briefly. Yeah, so there are a lot of companies actually working in this area where they are trying to create electrical drones in a sense. So this Predator and there's older drones are not working on the batteries. They are working on fuel. So nowadays people are trying to come up with the kind of battery configuration which can be useful and which is equally effective as the other type of engines, jet engines. Actually, they use mostly. Yeah. So learn about battery management system. Okay, I am just typing it, so you can refer it later. Just type BMS, you will get to know a lot. Lot of work will going to come in BMS in the future. Okay, battery management system. So there is a battery pack is there. I don't think I need to talk much about this slide. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask me in time. Now coming to the next slide. Yeah, so now the important and the most interesting and probably the most complicated part is the different type. What makes a drone is different UAV systems. So what are the different kind of UAV systems we have? So that we need to see. Okay, so this is not the exhaustive list, I should say, because there are many other components which are present in a drone, but we are just talking about this many because I felt these are more important to know as compared to others. So obviously we have mentioned motor. So what kind of motors are you going to use? DC motor or AC motor? There are countless varieties like electronic speed controller. So what electronic speed controller does is simply it controls your motors, like we saw, right, how your movement occurs. So who will reduce the speed of that motor? ESC will reduce the speed of that motor. This is the motor controller. That's in a very simple term. This is the motor controller. Okay. And the flight controller is the main controller in the airplane as well as the drones. I work on flight control electronics. We divided flight controls into different subsystems. There are many subsystems like signal processing, signal integrity, and uh, maintenance system is there. Means flight controls is divided into many different subsystem. Autopilot is one of the most interesting subsystem. But are you aware that still we don't have fully functional autopilot? Actually, we have fully functional autopilot, but it is still not deployed in the actual aircraft. That is there. Then battery pack, I told about BMS, we have already discussed, and the receiver. There can be different type of receivers you can use based on the range you are looking for, also the complexity of your system as well. Okay, so any doubt on this slide? Any questions? We can wait on this slide. Actually, this is pretty interesting. We have time actually right now. I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can ask later also. It's fine if nothing is coming right now. That's not an issue. So next is the control flow. So what is control flow? Control flow generally in aerospace term is the flow of action you take from the giving control to the execution of control. So this is one of the most important slide, and this is one of the most important thing they will ask you in any interview or anywhere. Okay, how the signal flows from the stick to the surface in a simple terms. So in quadcopter it is easy. You have remote control stick, and then that command will go to central flight controller. Flight control will interpret your signals from your stick, and then it will calculate the current it needs to give to electronic speed controller. Electronic speed controller circuit is connected to different motors. Remember, okay, it's not connected to only single motor. So based on the instructions from the central flight controller, it will give instructions to motor and propellers. And based on the motions of motor and propeller, the quadcopter movement will happen. Okay, and this is pretty high level demonstration of what happens. If you ask me, I am typing two terms actually in the chat box. The very important terms is integrity and availability. Okay, so just whenever you design some aerospace system, right, always remember these two terms. Okay, these are the basic methodology and focus for designing any airborne system. Is the integrity and availability. What is integrity and availability? We'll discuss in detail. It's pretty interesting terms. So integrity is you need to make sure that whatever command you are giving to your control surface or wherever you are giving that command is good command. It should not be a corrupt command, and it should not be the command which you don't want to give. Okay, that is integrity. Okay, so just try to understand it more and ask me question if you have any doubt. Next is availability. In a sense, if your commands are good, but then you should have a available system to execute that command. Okay, if you don't have any system available, okay, you can say that okay, they are already rotors, why they will not work. So there are hundreds of scenarios in which your motors will not work. Okay, if something is going into the air, right? So then mostly it is in God's hand. So there can be many external factors which can influence your system. So in every scenario, one of your system should be available. Any doubt on this two terms? Next is this. Okay, integrity, availability, and redundancy. Okay, so redundancy means you should have multiple sites of your critical system. So suppose you have created a drone from the ground up, but if your drone should not fall on someone, right? Suppose your one motor started working, it should not fall down. Or suppose your some flight controls fails, then it should not come down. Okay, that's called redundancy. In a sense, you should have some backup system always present in your aircraft or your drones or quadcopter, whatever it is. You need these three things. These are the most building block of any airborne system. In future, if you go for the aircraft or something, always think from the safety perspective. Because if your product is not safe, it is useless. I mean, it's too harsh word to use, but this it can't go commercially if it is related to air. Yeah, so just remember this. You have any doubt on this term, you can ask me anytime. Okay.
Sir, in control flow, sir.
Yes.
Sir, after going to the central flight controller, between them and the speed controller, like it goes to the power distributor, sir, and only to go to the power distributor, sir.
What do you mean by power distributor?
Like a power distributor, but it distributes power, sir, equally to everything.
Okay, so I can't say it is equally distributing power actually, because that is not possible, because every component will be taking different kind of power. So there will be a power management system in this drones, which is taken care by your controller itself, the central flight controller, because you will not be developing a flight control system from the scratch. Ultimately, for this small application, you will be using existing flight controllers. In those flight controller board, you will be having ports which are already configured to give a certain amount of power to different components. Suppose ESC needs certain amount of power, then it is already configured in the central flight controller that how much power this ESC needs to give. But a good question actually, because you need to find flight controller, central flight controller, and the ESC is compatible with each other in terms of power rating as well. So are you asking for the power distribution among motors, or have I gave you
Yes,
the
sir.
answer to your question?
Yes, sir. Power distribution board, which is used for the escaper, sir.
For what?
The escapers, sir, like for the escapers and the motors, sir, rotors. ESC, sir.
Yeah. Yes. So that will be taken care by ESC actually. That how much power it needs to give to motors, and based on the power, ultimately the forces will be decided, right? Because if you reduce the amount of power you're giving to the motors, obviously it will go to slow down. Another interesting fact regarding motors, okay, there are certain kind, there should be a minimal power given to the motors actually, and you can vary there are different ways of controlling the motor anyway, that is related to motor controller. But ESC is an interesting topic you can read about. Yes, ESC will control the power given to the motors and propellers.
Sir, can you please name any few flight controllers for controlling remotely for using
Your,
RC
your
transmitters?
voice is,
Hello,
can
is my
you
voice audible?
can you repeat? Yes. Yeah, now it
Is
is
it
good.
audible now? Yeah, any
Yeah, it is
flight
audible. Tell your name also.
yeah, myself Kamal Nath, sir. Uh, sir, can you please name any few
Hi,
flight
Kamal.
controllers to control remotely from RC transmitters, like very good controllers with a stabilized mode, and any other controllers that can be used for autonomous drone navigations?
So I have kept it at the later point because I have to but it's fine. If you have asked, we can talk about that. So I have thought that I should bring to your notice. Okay, there are hundreds. Okay, based on your applications, but more or less, this Aero FC is the latest one which came. Actually, you can check this out. What I have worked on, I can tell you, is Pixhawk, because Pixhawk is the main was the sufficient controller which has enough memory available and the processing capability to support the industry level application at that time. So we have used Pixhawk in the commercial application, but for the hobby project, you can use any one of this controller. Ultimately, you need to add additional peripheral devices with it, but I think with Aero FC you can use it directly because their ports are already given here.
Hello, sir.
I can give you more names apart from this. Yes.
Sir, like Pixhawk you mentioned. Hello, can you hear? Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, sir, like Pixhawk you mentioned, like I have searched for the controllers. So many of them have recommended Pixhawk because you can mount various sensors on them like GPS and telemetry and those things. But like,
Yes.
is it like means what we say original Pixhawk? That means like many reviews I have heard about them, like they are saying it doesn't work, but the cost will be like 7,000, 8,000. And original Pixhawk, like if you want to import it, is like 24,000. So is there an alternative like beside Pixhawk? Means if we can't verify now online that it is original or not. The main problem with that board is like in India, for Indians I'm saying, like you can't get the original board.
Okay.
So if that what we say, then it will like the logic which is there inside that board, it will be different on the fake ones now. Oh. Do you get it, sir? What I'm saying?
I may
Hello?
use. Just repeat the last two lines you said. Actually, I got what
I
you
am
said
saying
before that.
like there's like Pixhawk is a good board, but in India like it is like you can't guarantee that it will be a original one. But fake boards are like
Okay.
there are many fake boards like Pixhawk only you are getting the fake ones in India like 7,000, 8,000. Even I have seen many videos they are like saving you will get for 8,000 those Pixhawk, but those are not the original ones. So like will the logic differ from the fake means original and the fake? Means the logic like the controlling the motors, the IMU which we say inertial measurement unit inside that, will it differ if I buy a fake one?
Uh,
Like
yes,
balancing the
it will.
quadcopter
It
is
should.
there na?
Yes. First of all, logic means the code which is inside, which is
Yes,
going inside your Pixhawk, right?
yes,
So that you can get it online from directly from the website itself. So that if you have a controller which is capable to if you are capable to burn that code, means at my time when I was engineering, we used to call it burn the code, but I
yes.
don't know what you call right nowadays. So
Upload and
so you can I upload that code into that directly into your Pixhawk if you are doubtful. But I can try to find where we have bought the Pixhawk from, and I can tell you. I need some time for that because because there's a different medium corporates use to buy stuff, right, compared to the normal people like you and me. So I
so
can try
like
to find it out. But
I am
let's
like
see the price. What is there?
I am like working on a drone only. So like I am like referring to YouTube videos only. So like one guy has prepared based on
Okay.
Arduino drone. Means he has made his own code, which we say now we use the controllers because they have the first only the logic is built in the controller. So that guy has prepared his own
Yes.
code like using what we say C language. Uh,
Yes.
means like it's a good project, but like it's a little complicated stuff.
So what I can suggest you is use the language which you are familiar with. Okay, it's not necessary to be C or Java or something. You can use Python also. Ultimately, remember this thing always. What will be the end product will be the binary code which will be going inside. Correct.
Yes,
Means I
yes.
know I'm giving a pretty generic
general answer.
terms right now, because for some people, yeah, for some people C can be pretty tough. Okay, but for some people that can be very easy. If you ask me, C is pretty easy as compared to other languages, because it's a basic language. You can learn it also. This is the time for you to learn and implement it. If you go for the assembly language or something, I don't think that's a good idea, because
No, assembly language, no, just high level language.
yeah. So I think C is the easiest language which is available right now. Again, it's depending on the application you are using. C will be more difficult if you're going for a high complicated task. Then you need object oriented programming in that case.
So like,
Uh,
is it means
But
like you should always use a controller board, or like we can make our own logic, which is good means I'm asking just for general stuff.
okay, so is again application.
Like, they
If
have
you're
that
on the
even
beginning
DJI
stage,
have
right?
their NASA controllers, then that stuff.
Don't see many controllers. Okay, you will get confused.
Okay.
Go for the basic ones which has more support available. Arduino is one of the example. You have IDE also available. You have what to say, example codes are also available. So that is more supported, right? The aim is to learn, right? So
Yes.
that should be the aim. Means if you're just able to get an application that your quadcopter is hovering, that is enough. If you ask me. Okay, then in later stages you can implement other functionalities like raw, yaw, roll, and other things. Okay, but just if you are taking it off, means if your quadcopter is taking off in the air, that is good. It's a pretty good start. See from
Hello, sir.
different skill that you all people will learn with time. Yes, yeah, we
Uh,
can hear you.
yes, sir. I have a question. I'm recently working on the quadcopters, but I'm looking for opportunity. Okay, is there any opportunity for students to work with industries? Because I have seen there is no much that much hackathons or any competition organized in India at right time.
Okay, so there are many companies who are working in this field. So these are some of the companies who are like front runner, who are working in this UAV area. Don't just limit yourself with quadcopters, but you can start with quadcopters, but think from a bigger perspective. So these are the companies you can go on their website. Surely they work with the students as well, but again you need to show your prototype. Okay, but if I go and tell them, okay, that way you need to show the project you have done or what kind of experience you have. Just have something demo in your hand and you will get a lot of opportunities. Yes, there are many opportunities. If Boeing has something, I will surely let you know, people. Or if any of the aerospace company has, they are working a lot in this area nowadays, because Rustam 2 they are developing in that area. Yes, but what kind of work you're looking for in the industry? That is one of the question I have.
In a surveillance mapping as well, using ROS,
What?
using ROS robot operating system in the
Oh
surveillance.
no, I was asking what kind of work you are looking for. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Recently, I have not.
You will get many there. Uh-huh. What?
Yes, yes, sir. Just I have started it, but I'm looking for opportunity to work. There is no specific domain I have chosen, but okay, let's just connecting with something industries or something else, and let continue with them. That's what I have decided.
Yeah, I will suggest you to do something on your own first. Then you have a better chance to work with them. So, so that I will suggest. But again, there is no hard and fast rule how to go forward. I would have done this thing what I'm saying. That's why I'm telling you. Okay, so Ayush has do embedded electronics engineer also works in drone. Yes, I am electronics engineer. I have done the specialization in embedded systems and I'm working in control systems for almost 6-7 years. 7 years almost now. Yes, we are the only people who work EC, electrical, mostly in control systems we will be working. Does this answer your question, or you are looking for the aerodynamics kind of work? So
See,
that
sir,
I
got answers.
what? Yeah, so Samir is saying me to EC. You have great opportunity actually. And in future there will be flying cars, okay? I have no doubt because it's already operational. In Singapore, they started the air taxi in a sense. The Lilium, this company, okay? So see about this company, okay? So this company has started operations in Singapore. So you have a lot of opportunities in the future. But you need to be prepared because suppose if you're going for placement in 1 year or 2 years, then you need to think from that perspective. Okay. Yeah. So I can move forward if you, or you can ask more questions
Sir,
as well.
can you please spell the Pixops drone controller?
What I can tell you, Pixop,
Can drone controller Pixops spelling?
Pix, PIX.
PIX?
I just put it there. I put it in the chat.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Do okay. Now I'm just putting it. Okay, just see the links. Okay, do if you are really into this system engineering work, right? This drones and everything. Do this these things. In Cozy, you know about Incozy? Just I am
No,
typing
sir.
it. So just search about all these things. What I am putting it here, right? If you're really looking to build your career in this field, then try to learn about this Incozy system engineer. So Incozy is like IEEE only, but it is for system engineer. System engineering different field actually, but it's not that hard to learn. You all will able to learn it, but again, there's importance of certifications and their importance. They're equal importance for skills as well. But if you have both the things, then you're in very good position. Okay. So see about this Incozy system engineer is one of the things. Good, lot of good questions, man. You all people are asking. Okay. So yeah. So remember this. I think because it's always I should say it's necessary to know what you want to do in a sense. If you are building a system or if you are building a electronics product or any product, so you should sort this functionality out first. In a sense, this flow of your signals are the most important thing in developing uh, any product. Okay. Okay. Next is the Pixoc I use. No, system engineers are not same as mechatronics engineers. No, it is not. System engineers are, you can say, system architect. So ultimately, what is my job is I will analyze the system, all the systems. So suppose I am a system engineer, right? So I will look into all the systems, and come up with the solutions. So that is my job. And mechatronics engineer will be working, means I will be giving requirement to mechatronics engineers to do to execute. Means I will be telling them okay what to execute, and they will be executing it. But it doesn't mean someone is in a good position or bad position. Means everyone has their own role. Means mechatronic engineering is also pretty interesting if you ask me. So yeah, so system engineering is like one level above. Level above in a sense, I'm not talking in terms of seniority or something. I'm saying in terms of product development. That's it. Okay, so no one should think that system engineers are better or less or anyone. Every engineer is equally important. Yeah. Yeah. Mechatronics engineer mostly would be working in, means you people are more about aware about this robotics and other things. Okay, there is one interesting company. Okay, I got the call a long time back. It's Orange Tree, I think. Okay, search about this company. This is in Gurgaon. It's working on robotics in field of warehouse management. Or I hope it is Orange Tree. I will search about it more and I will tell you the correct name if it is not the correct name. Oh, gray orange, I think. Sorry, not Orange Tree. Gray orange. Okay. So this you will find a lot of mechatronics engineers working in gray orange. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? So this is the Pixhawk. I can, so you can see, and it has ports for other systems as well. You can connect with them. Yeah. So one of the question was what were the other sensors? Those gyroscope, accelerometer, magnetometers, sensors we use generally. There's a air data system. What air data system does is it gets the temperature, pressure from the outside air. Actually, density of the air also matters. So that's one of the important factors that the air data system does. There should be an internal CPU. What the internal CPU will do is will collect the data from all these systems and try to come up with a single command or try to come up with a single expectation. Ultimately, flight controls will decide what actually will happen because all the logic will reside inside flight controls computer only. So this is just the overview of the system. This system overview is pretty much important. It helps us to move forward in the product development. So that's why I put it here. Okay. Any question, anytime, please ask. You can put in the chat also. Okay, this is one of the, actually, if I do the slideshow, you will able to see it better. So this is a subsystem view. So now we have seen the system view, right? Now we are going one step lower and we are seeing the subsystem view, what actually happens. So you can see that how AHRS is connected. AHRS is this attitude heading reference system, and how it is collecting with flight controls and how it is going to the servos, and how manual control is also. This is autopilot. We are talking AP is autopilot here. So suppose some drones fly in autopilot mode also. So there's different kind of mode in the flight control. Their autopilot mode, their altitude heading mode, they're different kind of modes. So every mode has a different application. So that is easy to learn actually. That's not a big thing. So this image is pretty important. Any doubt till now? These different images are just trying to give you different views of the quadcopter. Means how it internally works. Any question anyone has? Or I can move to the next slide as well if you want. Okay. You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay. Okay. So next is what are the advanced sensors we use in actually? What are the advanced sensors we use in quadcopter system? So there are two types of important sensors that I want you people to know about is the accelerometer and the gyroscope. So what this accelerometer does is it detects the movement in the straight line. So there are three axes in a 3D plane, X, Y, Z. Accelerometer detect and measure movement along this axis, those axes, but not around. It doesn't, in a sense, have the circular motion. It only detect linear motion. Anything other than linear motion will confuse the accelerometer. The same now the gyroscope is actually the main difference between the two devices is simple. One can sense rotation, whereas the other cannot. That's it. That's the difference between two sensors. Read about gyroscope and accelerometer. It is there in our phones also. Accelerometer is there in our phones. Actually, we use it every day. for orientation, we use it actually to get the 3D orientation of your device. We use gyroscope in some part. One can ask, okay, there is accelerometer can have a functionality which is part of gyroscope. Yes, means gyroscope can detect motion, what accelerometer can detect, but we have both the type of sensors, because like I said before, there should be redundancy in the system, and there should be system where we can get the secondary data if the primary source is not available. So always remember the three things. What I said is redundancy, integrity, and availability. Okay. Whenever you are designing a system, any doubt you can ask. There are different kind of sensors with different kind of application we use. Some of the drones nowadays are using image processing as well. So that is one other field. But again, image processing is a separate session itself. Means it will take a lot of time. It's a subject itself. Okay. Now we are really going into the controller design. So okay, I have one question. Okay, please give answers in the chat. How you most of the people, are you aware about PID controllers, right? Or leave PID controllers, you are aware about controllers. So how do you think we should design a controller? Is how, what are the steps you take to design a controller? Just put in the chat, or you can talk also. It's fine. And one simple more question just to increase the engagement is, why we need a controller itself? What do you think? What do you all think?
For processing.
Be more specific actually. Yeah, it is for processing, but what kind of processing? Target variable should be angle and actuation should be by popular process. Okay, this is one of the answer given by Ayush. Okay, that's a good answer. We need controller for stability and better control of the drone. Yes. Yes. We need that. That is one of the applications. PID controller. Yeah, same thing. Okay. So okay, so I will first I will tell you means how we design the controllers. Then actually you would be more aware about the control theory than I am right now. But I can tell you as much as we use right now. So what we do is, first we will get the output. First we will see the output. Okay, what kind of output we are looking for. Any sense? Okay, the tilt we are looking for while we are doing the yaw. Just to give one example. Based on that input, we do back engineering and design the controller. So we don't start from the front. Actually, we don't see that, okay, let's use PID controller. We see what kind of output we need, and based on that output, we design our controller. So it's an other way around process. Okay, so one question is, other than PID, which other controllers are used in industry? Oh, there are many actually. So there are different variants of PID controllers as well. The PD controller, PI controller, ID controllers. Plus there are MPC controller. Read about this MPC controller. Pretty interesting. Okay, so that is advanced controller, MPC controller, that also they are putting it in drones right nowadays. So based on the kind of characteristics we are looking in the output, actually the output we design our controllers. On the basis of that, we tune our controllers. Like if you're putting PIDs right, then what kind of tuning you require will be based on the output you are looking for. So that will be the use of PID controller here. So for every, okay, so how PID controllers are implemented actually in the drones? Means how you will actually implement on the hardware level PID controllers. So there are two ways actually for doing it. You can implement it using software, means you can write the PID algorithm itself, or you can attach a module, PID module. And mostly you implement it in PID in software itself. So yeah, so Samuel is asking, can you please tell what is PID controller? Okay, so PA probably Okay, it will come in your subject called control systems. Probably it would be the last chapters, one of the last chapters. And when I was in your uh, time, I was not much aware about PID. What I can tell you is proportional integrant derivative controller. There's a full form of PID. So what we mean by proportional in a sense, so there are three different controllers, but they have attached them together and created a PID controller. So what is proportional? In a sense, if you give a push, then in output you will get the equal amount of push. For example, suppose you have pushed a car, then it will move forward. That will be the PID controller. So the amount of work you're putting in the output you're getting, that is proportional controller. The integral controller will be the amount of work you are accumulating with time. In a sense, in slow chunks you are giving, that will be the integral. Means ultimately what is integration is the addition. Or and that work will get combined together and you will get a greater force. Ultimately, we use these terms in terms of the feedback in the PID controllers. Means in proportional you will get a system which will be unstable. In integral you will get a better tuning if you have an integral controller, because you can reduce your error with the help of that. And the derivative controllers will be, in a sense, it will predict the future based on the future prospects. Derivative controller will give the output. Means the theory you need to look more actually. That's the simplest version I can put right now for PID. But read about PID controllers. It means it's the most important controller in aerospace field right now. Or probably is the controller we can use in the aerospace right now. Future is MPC controller, which I already told you. Look into that as well. Okay. Any other thing? So here it is given, right? PID for altitude control. So what PID is doing ultimately is getting the input and it is streamlining that input to an expected output. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that that is the right definition. But anyway, Ayush has posted something for Samuel. Can look into that. Okay. So you can ask more questions related to that. For PID, I think we need more time to actually see how we can design the PID controller. But always go from the application point of view. Okay, just don't learn anything just because it looks fancy. Just see how much useful it is, and then only learn, because you can learn the limited things only. Okay, so the next thing is how to start building your own drones. So there is no hard and fast rule that you need to follow to start your own drones. But these are the basic steps anyone needs to do to build your, or probably you people already have done all these steps. But let's just take it as a refresher. For the four most important thing, identify the application. Because your application will decide the structure of your drone, the weight of your drone, the amount of money you need to put in the drone. All things will be decided by the application. Okay. Then based on, we will see step by. Then choose an airframe. Then based on, then all the things will be based on your application. Motors and props, controller, which kind of controller you're using. Then one of the interesting question came before was regarding ESC, in a sense, how power is distributed. So your flight controls in the ESC should be compatible with each other. See the amount of power is being dispatched from flight controllers in its ports. Okay, that's one of the important points. Okay, so there are different kind of frames you can choose actually here. So wooden frame, a lot of people use wooden frame. Some of the people just for the demonstration use plastic frames also. And this is metallic. The combination of plastic and metal is one of the strong frames actually you can use. But this is just to create from the scratch. Most of the time nowadays people buy it directly from the market. This is just related to quadcopters. I will also urge you to focus on fixed wing drones as well. Focus on the communication part of the drones. Focus on the autopilot part of the drones. Okay, because if you're from EC and electrical, right, then aerodynamics is all through a different stream. But your strong suits are what? Communication. Your strong suits are electronics. Strong suits are programming. Okay, because no, I believe that your strong suit, because of the education you are getting, is not aerodynamics, but you can learn it for sure. But how much deep you need to go in that? That is the question you should ask. Okay, based on the motors itself, you can see the different types of motors. You can use the outrunner motors, the internal motors. Ultimately, it's a different physical design. The outrunner, you can see that the rotates the entire housing. In its entire housing will rotate. Uh, the so this is one of the thing. So there are different kind of brushless motor, brushless motor have better heat dissipation. So we can build a more compact application, and you can plug them directly as well. So these are the difference. One of the question was initially came you the AC and DC motors. So ultimately AC is the most commonly used and most commonly used in the drone application. But for the batteries and most electronic sensor either operate on DC or direct current. So you need a converter between them. So all based on your AC and DC motor, your ESC you will select. Okay. Any questions here? Means I'm probably the time is less right now. So based on your application availability, money you have, application you have, you will decide on this. These are some of the basic electronics. Okay, work on this receiver side, ESC side, and transmitter side. This is one of the object detection sensors. Like I told about, right, detection is the important problem. So these are the basic sensors they use. This is pretty cheap sensor actually. You will get it like 100, 200 rupees, most probably. So these are the electronics you need to see again based on the application. All things should be compatible. I think we have seen this flight controller slide already. Which kind of controllers you need to use? Complexity matters. Okay. Now I will talk about the future prospects. Okay, this is pretty interesting from your point of view. So there are many companies working in Gurgaon who are working in the field of drones, directly drones. Hyderabad also there are many companies who are working in it. They mainly work in the areas of surveillance and in field of agriculture. They use now. There are a lot of companies, I'm telling you, working in drones related to the delivery. So there is one company called Delivery which is working in that area. Flipkart is also working in this area. There is a company called Amazon Air in US, which is just working on this problem. The entire company works on how they can use drones to deliver food or products. So they have huge amount of future perspective in that. I said Lilium, the Volocopter. There are hundreds of companies in Germany. They have pretty nice environment is coming up related to aerospace, especially related to the drones, unmanned aerial vehicle. Also, see, Boeing has acquired one company called Next. Read about that also. In Boeing, we have one division which just work on the experimental design. Phantom Works. That's called Phantom Works. Actually, you should visit that as well. So these are there are many opportunities. Airbus is a big presence in India. They are also working on the drones. It's in Bangalore. Means most of the aerospace big companies are in Bangalore. Only ecosystem is in Bangalore. But there's small ecosystems in Hyderabad as well. But if you're specifically looking for this drones related, then you will find a lot of companies in Gurgaon. But again, see the interest you have or not in that area. Okay. Hyundai, like I said, if you see all automotive companies are working on flying cars. There is not a single company who is a big company and not working on this area. So endless possibilities, but we need to be ready. Okay, I think that will be the end of this slide. Please let me know if you have any question, any of the slide, or any other kind of question as well, even if it is not related to uh, this topic.
Hello, sir. I have a question.
Yes.
This is Vijay Reddy.
Hi, Vijay.
Can you please tell me what is the scope of researchers? For example, in future, what will be the scope? And you told some companies which were working on the drone technology. And those
Yes.
companies in which area they are working? For example, they are building entirely new design, new mechanical design structures, or
Good, good,
they are working on
good
control
point.
part, stability part, linear control, nonlinear
Yes,
control, or they are working on
yes,
estimation, state estimation, or IMUs or gyroscope or something, or otherwise they are working on new technology for navigation systems and detecting something, or they are working in a application based like some detecting avoidance, obstacle avoidance and something. In which area there will be scope for researchers, future scope?
yes. Good question, actually. So, why do you first? I have a question for all of you. Why do you think drones are already in mature state currently? Okay, why do you think they are still not widely used? Tell
Uh,
me.
I'm, I'm, I mean, up to now, I'm observing that drones are there for last few years back, but there is no improvement in the communication systems. For example, uh, a lot of people
Drones
are
are,
working.
yes, yes,
A lot of people are just working on mechanical design, and they are living up to that point only, and they're not moving into some image processing or some new applications like that.
yes. So, why drones are not there right now? Because they are not safe.
No.
That's it. Means if you can make them reliable. I told the three important thing, right? Means it will take time to understand the importance of that three word. Means it took me years to understand that is reliability, redundancy, and availability. So ultimately, if drones are that safe and that reliable, right, then they would have been part of our day-to-day life, and many companies are working towards making them more safe and reliable. So there are a lot of scope in control systems. Means algorithm, how ultimately everything will go in aerospace through control systems only. So there are a lot of scope for researcher in control systems related to drones. How to increase the reliability of those drones, because it's so much to lose, right? If a drone falls on someone's head, then it's a gone case. Means it will not be funny at all. Means it's a point of conflict. So that's the reason. So Samuel told that there is no much advancement in our materials as such. Okay, so there is a 787. There is a aircraft. It's probably the most advanced aircraft right now. So in 787 we use composites to create the entire body. Means the research in materials uh, has gone this far that we have entire airplane which is made of composites, and it is reliable, it is lightweighted, it is equally strong as well. So material is not an issue in this advancement. Yeah. So if you really want to work in the research field, right, think about the safety, how you can increase the safety through control system. That's it.
Sir, even in Australia, they are using drones for food delivery, no, sir. Like 2 days ago, we came across a very famous meme. Like one of the bird was trying to pluck food from this drone. Like it was surfing through video in YouTube.
Okay. No, I didn't get it. What you said?
I mean, in Australia, they are using drones for food delivery, no, sir. Like it has been already in a part of their life, no? Like Swiggy and Zomato food deliveries.
Okay, so I can't say that this part because you see, okay, how Australia is, okay. So there are a lot of spaces. I really doubt that the part of life means that those drones are traveling freely in the city. That is, I don't think that happens till now. Means I can be wrong also, but it this that kind of things are not there anywhere in the world right now to not make drones used for the harm actually. So that I highly doubt probably they are using it to send packages to remote locations, or nowadays just 2 days back or yesterday I read the news that India is also using for vaccination, but they are sending it in a limited capacity. They are securing their airspace, and there are many things they would be doing for using those drones. But to be to drones to be part of our life as our vehicles are, still they are a long way to go. Currently, I'm saying, okay,
Sir,
there can be,
as like
yeah,
most of the companies will be producing prototype before making their original model, no, sir.
yes,
Like in the 10x scale or 20x scale. Likewise, why
yes.
don't we are most reliable with most aircrafts and other things. Why don't we scale down on create and make those autonomous?
We are doing it actually. So we are doing it actually. So there is a company called, just read about this company. Follow it on LinkedIn also, okay? So this company is doing it. They did it already. So Lilium, there is one more company called Lithium which are doing it. Means there are many companies Germany is doing what you are exactly saying. And you are talking about why we are not doing it in India. That was the question.
No, sir. What I'm saying is everybody is trying to do with like similar designs with like making some alterations to quadcopter, and they are trying to build only drone. Why they want to do like that only? Like why they don't want scale down the size exactly like aeroplanes or like any
Oh
other
yeah.
flying models available in the
Yes, it is there in Volocopter. Means they have done it already. Means that is the same thing they are doing. They scaled down. They started operation also in Singapore. Read about this company. I think you will be fascinated after reading about it. And if you can prepare yourself from right now itself, probably you will get a job there as well. I mean, they are hiring actively from entire globe. Good question, good opportunity. It's like saying in Bangalore, electric bus will come in work, but only few has come. Yeah, I doubt that electric buses are working in Bangalore. Bangalore is a different case altogether. India is a very different case if you see from other places because we have so much of crowded places. So it's difficult. That's why we had one of the most strict regulation on drones that you can't fly itself. Like just now they have changed. Means for 2 years it will continuously like that you can't fly until you need to ask some to take permission from the nearest police station. You need to inform them. There were many steps you need to follow. Yes. Yeah. Any other question? It
Sir,
can be
you
related to
know
anything.
about some of the video recording drones like DJ, which are more specialized drones, and DJI, where they have
Yes.
very good stable system for just
Yes.
even though a beginner can operate in a very good manner.
True.
Like they can attain to that level of stability. Then why still these drones are still not in our day-to-day life
Yes.
like as
Yes. So look, first of
as
all,
sir, what my
to,
question is, like they are even ready to use in a marriage or functions recording videos. Like the speed of the rotors, if there is a small damage, so it could damage in a single place where so many people are gathered there. So it can uh, cause a life damage also. But even though they are ready to use to record videos in marriages, but we need to deliver it. But they are thinking to they are ready to use in a marriage hall, but they are not ready to use in a very vast space in a sky where they need to do some delivery task. Why there is a gap between this?
Okay, so there are multiple factors in that. First, privacy. Second, how, in a sense, why they will not use it for some kind of distraction. Like if you're using it in marriage, right? Ultimately, they have asked the nearest police station. They have told the nearest police station that we will be using the drones, and you know who is using those drones. Correct, because police is aware about that. And so these two things, these two questions are still there, right? Why they can't use it for taking, means what about privacy, and what about, will they not use it for other purposes other than just delivering the drones? One more important point is, you would have seen there is a one company called the Boring Company. In UK also there is one company started which will create a tunnel. Virgin is the name of that company. I forgot, the Virgin Tunnel or something. So what they are doing is to solve that problem. What you are saying, they are digging a tunnel, and in that tunnel everything will go from here and there. So all the transport will happen through that tunnel only. So that's how they are planning to solve. They're still not thinking that all the cars will fly high up in the sky, or all the drones will go high up in the sky. One way of solving is to build a tunnel in which every drone can fly from one place to another. So see if you can find a way to make it more, or better, if you can come up with a system. Like traffic light is one system, right, which is quite successful till now, that we are still using. So if you can think, you all people can think about a system which can make drones more predictable, or you can remove the hazard, at least minimize those hazards. It will be a big invention. You can patent it. Means they have endless possibility. Now is the time to enter into this field actually. Does this answer your question? Probably not completely, but yeah, it's a good debate actually to have. Read about the Boring Company, okay? Not the Boeing Company, Boring Company. Yeah, any other note?
Sir, like in
We-
flying cars, like multi-copter flying cars will be good, or like a two-wing flying car will be good, sir?
Actually, it will be a mix of both the things, because you need that vertical takeoff ability, right? Vertical takeoff. So vertical takeoff is also must in your car, so it should not need a runway. So it will be the combination of both. I forgot the name of the aircraft which Boeing has developed a long time back. Something something, I forgot the name. I can search and tell you. Which has a capability. Okay, latest one is there, right? F-35. F-35 is the aircraft which can vertically take off and can use runway as well. So that kind of capability you need in a car. So it will be combination of both, and it is already there. It is already implemented. It's commercially almost got certified as well. That company I already gave the name before. You can search it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So Vijaya is saying in the channel, mainly we don't have efficient batteries for long flight. By the time it crosses a river, it loses power actually. He's saying. So yeah, this can be one of the drawback. But I said like they are fixed wing aircraft which can travel for more than 42 hours. So it is quite possible. But again, battery, if you're talking about, yes, it can't go for so long. But again, their use strides are going in BMS, battery management system. Like I said, read about, means try to at least visit, try to Google whatever I have put in the chat. It will surely help you. Means some new perspective will come.
Sir, as they built solar plane also, as
Yes.
it came across the world for once, and once it came to India on where it landed from Mumbai for a pit stop also.
Yes. Yeah, there is solar airplane. So there is a concept called zero emission aircraft. So all companies are working on that. Boeing is also working, Airbus is also working. So in that aircraft, there should be no emission. No carbon emission should happen. So there is stringent deadline like 2030 is taken by all the governments that they will reduce carbon footprint to a certain amount. So aerospace is one of the most carbon intensive areas. So because of that, they are going in that direction. But how feasible means it look, prototypes are made a long time back about all these things. But we need to see how much practical it will be there in day-to-day life. So still they are in prototypes only. So there is a prototype for electric engine also, but in electric jet engine also. But how much it will be feasible? That's the question that will be answered in the future. See these electric cars, how famous they are nowadays. But electric is not a new concept. It's a very old concept. There's nothing new that we are bringing just because there's a wave which comes and go every 10, 12 years. That now the electric wave is going on, everyone is going in that direction. So initially when it started, right, the car started, the first or second car, I'm not sure which car it was, but the preliminary model was on batteries only. Then the fuel came because it was not that efficient. Yes, so they are different ways they are trying to do. But you can always all people can always search in that areas, and it's a pretty interesting field.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, like this quadcopter is there now, sir. This small quadcopter can be built in a big scale and be used as a flying vehicle, sir.
Yeah, we can use it actually.
Okay,
So ultimately what happened was, if you see those big what you're saying, that make them big and use it, right? Ultimately those are the airplanes we are using nowadays. So what we have done is we have reduced the size of
I mean to
our
say,
airplanes.
sir, not like that, sir. I mean to say this nowadays the quadcopter is there now, sir. The design.
Yes.
A normal quadcopter, sir, like that can be like what you built in a big scale and be used as a vehicle, no, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So you need to see how much big you need to make it to operate like that. In a sense, see the feasibility of that also. It should not be that big that you are not able to land anywhere you want, because you will be sitting inside it, right? Again, the important point,
Sir.
it should be safe. You should not fall down. Means there are many factors, right? Creating prototype is all well and good. Okay, anyone can create prototype for anything because it's a limited concept. So,
Okay, sir.
but for the wide scale applicability, you need to consider many other factors as well. Like this iPhone, I just offbeat example I'm giving. This iPhone was already developed. The concept for the iPhone was developed in '92 itself. The Newton, there's a device which Apple made. But again, it was good for the prototype. But in terms of the wide scale applicability, it was not good. So now with the technology and with the maturity, ultimately, iPhone came after 10, 15 years, right? So there's one example which is not related anyway. But yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Any other question? If no other question, that's fine. If nothing's coming right now, you can mail me or you can get my contacts. I think you people already have my phone number. You can call me anytime. And that's it from my side. Yeah.